Welcome to this explainer. So, have you ever clicked play, leaned back expecting this wall of glorious sound, and instead you're just met with absolutely nothing? Or, maybe just a faint, annoying whisper in one ear? Yeah, we've all been there. It's the worst. Today, we're going to completely demystify audio troubleshooting. We're going to transform your frustrating sound test failure into a really simple, solvable detective mission. Honestly, by the end of this, you'll know exactly how to trace these audio issues right back to their source.
But first, we really have to ask the big question, why is your sound test actually failing? I know, it is incredibly frustrating when you expect to hear your audio and you just get total silence. Your mind instantly jumps to, oh great, a massive hardware failure, right? But don't panic. As you're going to see today, the vast majority of these issues stem from super simple connections or just really basic system settings. You absolutely don't need to be a tech wizard to fix this stuff, you just need to know where to look. We're going to treat this almost like a medical diagnosis mixed with an escalation ladder. We'll group the solutions by your specific symptoms, and of course, we're starting with the easiest fixes first.
So here is our agenda for today. We'll be looking at 4 main areas. 1. The basic sound check. 2. Fixing one-sided audio. 3. Digging deeper when there is absolutely no sound. And 4. Curing delay and echo.
All right, let's jump right into Section 1, the basic sound check, or how to fix a total sound failure.
Okay, so if you've clicked those left or right test buttons online and heard literally nothing, you should immediately go through these 4 straightforward steps. First up, check your connections. I know, it sounds super obvious, right? But seriously, ensure your speakers or headphones are physically plugged in all the way, or if you're on Bluetooth, make sure they are actively paired. Number 2, verify your output settings. Whether you're on Windows or Mac, you actually need to open up your sound settings and explicitly make sure the correct playback device is selected. Third, just restart your browser or refresh the page. Sometimes browser permissions get weird and reset, or the audio devices just load incorrectly in the background. And fourth, turn off mute. Double-check your OS volume, check the in-app volume, and don't forget to look at any actual physical dials on your external speakers.
Now let's say you've gone through those 4 basic steps and still nothing. Well, it's time to isolate the problem. Just try playing audio on another site. Pull up a random YouTube video or something. This is a really quick test to confirm whether your entire computer system is failing to produce sound or if the issue is strictly isolated to that specific online tool you were trying to use.
Moving right along to Section 2, fixing one-sided audio. Let's solve those annoying stereo problems.
When you're troubleshooting one-sided audio, where you only hear out of one ear, there are basically 2 main paths here, depending on your hardware. If you're rocking wired speakers, you've got to ensure both speakers or earbuds are fully connected. The right and left connectors absolutely must go into their proper matching ports. On the flip side, if you're living a wireless life with Bluetooth, the fix is usually as simple as just trying to repair the device. Sometimes during that digital handshake process, one channel just fails to sync up correctly. Unpairing and pairing again, that just forces a nice fresh connection.
But what if those hardware connections are totally fine? Well, then you need to look at your software. In Windows, for example, go check the balance slider under your sound settings. You want to make sure both the left and right channels are perfectly equal. If they are equal, test things out with another audio cable or a completely different set of headphones. That helps confirm it's not a broken wire. And actually, here's a really cool pro tip. If you swap your audio cables left to right and the sound suddenly flips to the other side, bingo! You've just found a speaker polarity problem. Simply reversing the wires should fix it right up for you.
All right, Section 3, digging deeper. What to do when there is still absolutely no sound.
It is kind of a staggering statistic, but outdated or missing audio drivers are the true culprit in a massive 80% of no sound cases on Windows. 80%! That means updating or reinstalling your audio driver should absolutely be your very next move. Statistically speaking, it is by far the most probable reason you are currently sitting in silence.
Okay, so if you've checked the drivers and they aren't the issue, we need to continue our detective work. If you use an external sound card or a DAC, which is a digital to analog converter, you definitely want to check the manufacturer's site for specific firmware updates. Next up, try switching browsers. Give Chrome, Edge, or Firefox a shot. You'd be surprised, but some really strict privacy extensions can actually block your audio permissions behind the scenes without you even realizing it. Also, try using some wired headphones instead of your Bluetooth ones just to isolate if it's purely a wireless connection problem. And finally, the absolute classic IT advice. Reboot your computer or your phone. It is honestly incredible how effective a simple restart is for unsticking jammed audio sessions and clearing out tangled-up system permissions.
And that brings us to Section 4, curing delay and echo. Let's fix that frustrating audio lag.
Latency problems are the worst. They usually happen when your system buffers way too much audio or accidentally loops it back through your microphone. So systematically go through this checklist. First, close out any extra browser tabs. They might be secretly hogging your mic or speakers. Next, dive into your Windows settings and disable audio enhancements or spatial sound. Those features look cool, but they add weird processing lag. Getting an echo on a call? Just lower your mic gain and your playback volume to kill that feedback loop. And for you gamers out there using 5.1 or 7.1 surround sound, make sure to check your specific drivers or reset your Dolby Atmos configuration. Finally, if you're on Bluetooth and experiencing crazy delay, temporarily switch to a wired connection just to see if the lag is purely wireless related. Once you make these little adjustments, rerunning your sound test should give you super crisp, perfectly in sync audio.
So here is the absolute crucial point, our final test. Let's say you've escalated through this entire troubleshooting ladder. You've checked every setting, updated every driver, swapped your cables, and everything else has completely, utterly failed. There is only one last thing to do. Play an MP3 file locally on your device, just an audio file sitting right on your hard drive. If that local file doesn't play either, well, the problem is definitively your physical hardware. Which leaves us with one final and maybe slightly expensive question. Is it time for a simple, cheap replacement, or is this the perfect excuse for that major audio upgrade you've been dreaming about? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and hey, happy troubleshooting!